Are you a very curious person?
Oh, I'm very curious. I'm not afraid to ask questions. Not afraid to express an opinion. It's better if I don't.
I'm more interested now in learning about your grandmother and your mother.
I call these women, or myself, dreamers. Zero, huge snowfalls. So yeah, it was a very different time. People were much more willing to help each other out. I think that it's not quite so cutthroat like it is now. But yeah, that was pretty much my environment growing up.
All right. What would make you happy more that time? Okay, what I'm trying to go there, like, where do you like to go? What did you do more as a young adolescent growing up in the Bronx in New York?
Well, I always liked travel because I was surrounded by it was a mixed neighborhood, so surrounded by all kinds of people. So learning different languages was something that came naturally to me, and it's something I enjoy till today. I'm learning Japanese at the moment, or relearning Japanese. I think it was the travel. That's something that's always fascinated me. Being able to travel and meet people and communicate with people. I learned to recognize accents very early, starting with my grandfather, who was born and raised in Trinidad, and so I had to learn to listen very carefully. And to be able to understand him at that time. But that love of learning and travel has stayed with me all my life. And in between, summers were spent traveling. Particularly when I was at university, I traveled during the summers to just to be able to expand my horizons. I find that some of the best education I've ever had has been interacting with people from different cultures and countries and what have you. And that's something that stays with me until today. I'm thinking about going back to Europe to retire, either back to the UK or perhaps somewhere on the continent. I'm not sure yet.
All right, all right, all right. You are still young. There is a lot of time also ahead of you. You can still have a lot of dreams to be fulfilled.
Older than not that much time.
All right. Now, are you a very curious person?
Well, what do you mean by that? I'm just curious. What?
All right. Okay, that's fine.
That's right.
I'm trying to like
Turn it
understand.
around. Let's ask you the question.
No, I'm trying to understand how much you like to ask questions of things that you didn't know, something like that.
Oh, I'm very curious. I'm not afraid to ask questions. Not afraid to express an opinion. Sometimes it's better if I don't. But that's one thing. It's learning to kind of temper that honesty. Sometimes too maybe a bit too honest for people's taste. But it's something that as I've gotten older, I've kind of found a balance with regard to being upfront with people and also being a bit more diplomatic, shall we say.
All right, all right. That's fair enough. Now, I was asking that question because I want that question to sort of lead us to somewhere. You have, of course, you started just now saying that your gift is a generational gift. It's something that is inherited from the line of your mother.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I'm more interested now in learning about your grandmother and your mother through the story that they told you. So, what did they tell you about where all this is coming from?
I think it's a matter of service. I call these women, or myself, dreamers. That have some ability with dreams. I mean, to give you an example, my sister, my late sister now, she dreamt to help people who were in dire financial straits. She would dream money for them. Never worked for me, but that was her particular take on the gift, that, people who were really in serious financial difficulty and needed help, she would somehow dream, whether it would be lottery numbers, I don't know, but whatever it was, that was her way of people. For my mother, who was a nurse, it was just having that sense of knowing what people needed. I mean, her patients just absolutely loved her. They were, always asking for and whatnot. So it was just about having that sense of being able to get behind the medication and the pain and whatnot, and really tend to people. My grandmother, again, I mean, she died before, when my mother was a young woman, so I didn't know her, but from people who knew her, funnily enough, they say that I physically built like her, but short. She was tall. But we had the same figure. But again, she used her dreams to almost in a prescient sense, that she would be aware of things going on with people, maybe even before they were aware, and go to tend to them. So it took different forms in different people, according to, I guess, their individual personalities and how the gift manifested within them. For me, like I said, it's really about being able to understand the messages contained within dreams, so that dreams have their own way of expressing themselves. And in fact, that's part of the problem, in a sense, because the left brain is the bean counter brain, the neocortex, which developed later in human history, and that's the logical part of ourselves, the part that evaluates, that counts, that makes decisions. Whereas the right brain, which is where dreams come from, that is developed before human language developed. So it's called the reptilian brain. So it's really about instinct and survival. So it stores information in pictures because it was developed pre-verbally. So, you see a saber-toothed cat, that means run. If you see those beautiful berries that nearly killed you the last time you ate them, to avoid them. So it would store the information in pictures. So now when you have the neocortex, the new brain, looking at the stuff that the old brain is throwing up in these images, it's going, what the hell is that? It's nonsense,